Welcome to Monday ZIM-LAW Talk. This is our second talk this week. We shall be having a brief analysis of the new marriage bill that has been passed this year. It was passed this 2022, and I think it is now in force. The Marriage Act 5.15. The main aim, just to remind others of these Monday ZIM-LAW Talks, is to help us be people who are obedient of the law from knowledge and understanding. This 2022, the Marriage Act 5.15 was passed, and the implication of that is that the Marriage Act 5.11 that we used to know and the Customary Marriages Act 5.07 have now been repealed. I should also remind you, before I talk about the types of marriages that are established by the new marriage bill, I should remind you that in Zimbabwe, marriages are established between a male and a female who are above the age of 18, who are 18 years and older. So, the Marriage Act 5.15 established 5 types of marriages. Number 1, civil marriage. Number 2, registered customary law unions. Number 3, unregistered customary law unions. Number 4, qualified civil marriages. And number 5, civil partnerships that most of you are so eager to know about. So I shall briefly discuss what these are and what do they contain. Civil marriages. Aya ndo akada kutange marriage 5.11 yatanga tagara tichiita iye. So they are monogamous, one man one wife, vanokuroora vanhu vakawanda, vakadzi vakawanda. Number 2, otherwise it actually constitutes bigamy if you marry another person, whether under customary as a customary law union, or unless if it is a civil partnership. So someone who is in a civil marriage can be involved in a civil partnership. We shall explain what a civil partnership is later. One also interesting issue about civil marriages, chakaita sekunge chakachinja ndechekuti taimbobhadhara lobola, then after lobola munoenda kuzonochata, and lobola was sort of a requirement. So under the new Marriage Act, lobola is no longer a requirement. So vakomana vechidiki maakugona kungotorana henyu. So I'll move on to registered customary law unions. So registered customary law unions, lobola is a requirement. So unororana nemunhu wako muine record renyu kuti makarorana, then you go and register your marriage. It is supposed to be between people who are 18 years and older, as we mentioned before. But you should also know that these are potentially polygamous. So munhu anenge ari under the kana marorana under this marriage, murume anokwanisa kuita vakadzi vakawanda. Number 3, unregistered customary law unions. Chakangosiyana ndechekuti unenge musina kuzonoregister kana mapedza kurorana, then if you don't go and register, anongorecognize as well, just like registered customary law unions. One thing also I should remind you is that the new marriage bill recognizes all these marriages or relationships zvakafanana, whether you are in a customary law union, registered kana unregistered, kana civil partnership, civil partnership, kana civil marriage, zviri kurecognizwa zvakafanana, especially at the dissolution of marriage. Dissolution of marriage usually is because of death or divorce. Number 3, qualified civil marriage. This is kind of new. These ones are also potentially polygamous, and they are solemnized by the Minister of Religion of Islamic Rights. I think it was more about recognition of those from the Islam religion. Then the 5th one, civil partnerships. So civil partnerships, just like any other relationship or marriage that we discussed before, should be between people who are over the age of 18 and above. They've lived together without legally being married. Saka vanenge vasina kuroorana vanhu vari kubika mapo, vanenge vachigara vese kungoti awirirana ubva vagara vese. And usually what they say is that when you look at the circumstances of the relationship, vanhu ava vanenge zvavakatariswa zvinofanirwa kungoti zviconclude kunzi vanhu ava they are living together on a genuine domestic basis. How it is determined, probably it will be upon the presiding officer kana kuri kuti vanhu ivo vanenge vakurambana. So what is interesting about civil partnerships is that munhu akaroora akadanana nemusikana akagara naye akazomuti handichakudi, it's actually yatoo dissolution of a relationship, and it's all inenge yakutopinza Matrimonial Causes Act, so yakutotreatwa more like it is a divorce yatanga tagara tichifunga kuti ndevari married under the old marriages. So those are the 5 types of marriages or relationships that are established by the new marriage bill. As I conclude, I think I should remind you that there are lots of conflict of laws that come into play with the coming of this marriage bill. And also I think we need to be aware kana takuda kuzoroorana nevasikana vedu nevakomana vedu kana kuti nevanhu vedu vatinenge takuda kupinda navo murelationship kuti tisapinde tisingazivi, and because the results may be dangerous for us. Thank you. We meet again next week.